Well, it wouldn't be the first time that Donald Trump has implemented a travel ban. He did so during his first administration. But now we are seeing a different type of travel ban. He is banning travel from 12 countries. Wait till you see what those countries are. Let's go ahead and get into this clip here, ladies and gentlemen. I got to tell you, these countries have something in common. Something in common.
At the White House right now, President Trump has once again announced a travel ban. Now, apparently this is similar to the one he enacted during his first term in office. We are still combing through a lot of the details here, but it looks like he just signed an executive order either restricting or limiting nationals from 12 different countries. They are, and we're reading this as we speak here, Afghanistan, Myanmar, Chad, Congo, Equatorial New Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. And again, this is all just coming in from the White House right now. So we're combing through it. But apparently this looks like it may go into effect on Monday. We have also been told that the president has been considering this for some time, but has expedited this after the attacks that we saw, or the attack that we saw from a suspect in Boulder, Colorado. And so it does look like that timeline has been accelerated again.
But those countries that are, and we'll get to the list in a second, those countries have nothing to do with Boulder, Colorado.
Looking through this pretty large release that just came from the White House. We're trying to gather a little bit more information, but he also appears to be restricting access from some other places, Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela. Those are restrictions that distinguish between but apply to both the entry of immigrants and non-immigrants. So quite the number of countries. 12 countries are on this ban, and then 7 other countries will see limited restrictions as well. And then sections 2 and 3 of this proclamation apparently has to do with identity management. And he is saying that there were some identity management issues that have come up during this administration that he has found to be inadequate. So he's using this as the president is using this to justify that unrestricted entry of nationals from the named countries would be detrimental to the interests of the United States. However, when it comes to the actual details on how he made these determinations, the White House is saying publicly disclosing additional details would cause serious damage to the national security of the United States. And a lot of those details are classified. So not a lot of questions in terms of the answers, in terms of the particulars, but the questions are coming in fast and furious here. Joining us right now on the phone is Gabe Gutierrez.
Pause here before they get to dude on the phone. So one thing that I want to add is this. Notice that Cuba is one of the countries that has restrictions, right? Isn't that crazy? Right? We're back to restricted access with Cuba again. So pay attention to this, guys. Pay attention to what is really going on.
Who I know has probably also got this on your laptop in front of you. Gabe, what do we know so far?
Hey there, Gotti. Well, as you were saying, this is breaking news, just happened in the last several minutes. It does come just a few days after the Boulder, Colorado attack. I think that's important context here, that the administration, also been working to take into custody family members of that suspect. Now, this is kind of a resurrecting of the travel ban policy from his first term, Gotti. And again, he just signed this proclamation tonight preventing people from a dozen countries from entering the U.S. Now, the countries include, and I know you probably listed them, but, it includes Afghanistan, Burma, Chad, the Republic of the Congo, Haiti, Iran, Libya, and others. Now, in addition to the ban, by the way, it takes effect, has been, front and center.
I just wanted to show you that list because I want to go over a couple of things. So here are the countries: Afghanistan, Burma, Chad, the Congo, okay, Equatorial Guinea, Guinea. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Sorry. Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. You know what these countries have in common? So obviously people are like, these are black and brown countries. Yeah, but there's something else these countries have in common. Let's go one by one. Afghanistan. Didn't the US government destroy Afghanistan? Right? Did you guys know, like, you know how we're talking about starvation in Gaza? Did you know that when under Biden's administration, when he decided to start pulling troops out of Afghanistan, did you know that there was a starvation and humanitarian watch in Afghanistan because the children were starving? You see, everywhere the US government seems to go, they seem to just leave a lot of damage and wreckage in their wake. Everywhere. All of these countries, Guinea, oh, like Papa, oh, Guinea. Okay, guinea pig. Gotcha. They seem to go and destroy these countries. Afghanistan has been destroyed by the United States government. Destroyed. But they had opium. But you see, that's how the US government works. Once they get what they need from these countries, once they get their resources, they don't need you anymore. Then they try to destroy the country. So now the people in Afghanistan don't really have anything. They don't want you coming here, right? Remember, this is a travel ban. This doesn't mean that these countries are not allowed to come seek asylum. It means like you cannot travel from these countries. Look at the other ones. Burma, Chad. I don't know as much about Chad and Burma, but the Congo, Democratic Republic of the Congo, there's a genocide happening in the Congo. There is slave labor happening in the Congo. There is exploitation of minor children in the mines happening in the Democratic Republic of the Congo because they have resources that not just the US government, but the whole world needs, which is cobalt. Because cobalt is the reason why you're able to run these smartphones, the rechargeable batteries. What has happened to the Congo, and I need to bring another person on to talk about this a little bit more. What has happened to the Congo is absolutely devastating. And it's not just the US government. A lot of times people don't talk about Israel's role in the Congo as well. The diamonds and the resources that Israel stole from the Congo. See, it's all connected. One colonizer after another one, all connected. Okay, so people in the Congo, genocide, exploitation, stealing resources. Don't want them here. Eritrea is interesting. I interviewed a gentleman from that area about 2 years ago. That is another one where the US has gone in and caused mess. Another one. US forces going in and causing mess, causing problems with the people, but stealing their resources. You see, a lot of these countries in Africa are very rich in resources, whether it's gold, diamond, cobalt, lithium. The West loves to take the resources. The West doesn't care about the people. Hell, the West don't even care. They don't even care about us. So you think they care about people in the Congo? Notice how quickly their usual statement of we got to look after the women and the children. Remember how they said that about Afghanistan? But what about the women and the children? We got to go in there to help them because of the women and the children. Remember that phrase? Notice you don't hear them say that anymore after the genocide started in Gaza. Because it was never really about the women and the children to begin with. Haiti. Haiti is one of the countries that the US government, not just the US government, also France, but Haiti has also been devastated because of the actions of the US government, but they like to steal their resources. We can go all the way back to Woodrow Wilson. Woodrow Wilson sent in the US Marines to occupy Haiti, to take control of their businesses and their finances, including their banks. Ask people in Haiti about the Clintons, about Bill Clinton and the peeps. Ask them about that and what they did. There is no country, and I've said this over and over again, particularly in that area, no country has been vilified more than Haiti. But Haiti had a lot of resources. Everybody says Haiti's poor, but it had a lot of resources. Oh, of course, Iran. Of course, Iran is on here. Now I'm going to go ahead and keep it real with you. If you were coming from Iran, you had a hard time coming here to begin with anyway. Now you're not coming at all. And they don't want Iran to come here because no one from Iran wants to play their game right now. They don't want to play their game. They're not willing to bend the knee to Israel. So no. Don't let Iran come here. No one from Iran. I had students that came from Iran that were admitted, very, very smart. And it was like pulling teeth just to get them here because of getting the student visa, going through this everything with immigration. You don't understand how difficult it is to get a student who has been accepted. These kids were accepted into MIT. They were accepted. They were given fellowships. It was so difficult to just get them in the country. I didn't even know if we would have them here in time for orientation. Because it's really, really hard for people who are coming from Iran. Right? Iran don't want to play a game. Libya. Oh my God. What happened in Libya? What happened in Libya? Oh, let's talk about the US government leaving wreckage in their path. The US government overthrew Gaddafi, had Gaddafi killed, overthrew him, and then a slave trade started in Libya after the overthrow of Gaddafi. Like I said, this government, the West, just leaves wreckage wherever they go. So no, they don't. See, they go in and they destroy these countries, but then they tell the people, no, you got to stay there. You got to stay there and live with the mess that we caused. Can't come here. It's like that scene in Forrest Gump. Can't sit there. Or here, how she said, can't sit here. Seats taken. Somalia. Yeah. I mean, Somalia has been bombed under Biden administration and Trump administration. They've been destroying things in Somalia as well. Don't want them to come here, though. Let us have our military bases in your country. We're here to protect you and steal your resources and then screw everything up for you and make you impoverished. And then we'll go back to the US. But don't you ever think about coming here. What's the next one? Sudan. Another big crisis that is happening thanks to the West. The West involvement. Now, some of this started under Obama's presidency, the Sudan situation. We've covered this before on this show. Some of that started under Barack Obama, but not all of it. But you talk about people being killed. There's a genocide happening in Sudan. It just seemed like to me, I don't know, everywhere the West and their European allies tend to go, they seem to leave wreckage. They ruin everything that they touch. And last but not least, Yemen. After the US government spent years giving weapons to Saudi Arabia to destroy Yemen and brutalize the people, the US government not only says Ansar Allah has no right to be doing what they're doing, shouldn't be there. The Houthis they're bad people. But then also, we know we killed all those damn people in your country, and you guys have to live with that in that rubble, but also you can't come here. You see, everybody I noticed was a lot of people were pointing out the obvious. Yes, it's easy to look at this list and say, these are all the black and brown countries. That's the easy part. But I noticed a lot of people didn't take the next step. What else do all these countries have in common? These are countries that the West has ruined. destroyed. They've slaughtered people in these countries. We have to start thinking outside the box. Sometimes when we look at things, we have to say, okay, what is everybody else going to see? What's obvious? And is there something I can see about this that may not be obvious? And I noticed this today with the vote blue no matter who crowd on social media. We're very quick to say, see, he went after all the black and brown countries. Donald Trump is racist because he's going after black and brown countries. Okay, tell me something new. He did this under his first presidential term. I don't know why people are surprised. What was really upsetting was to see that people did not see what else all these countries had in common. These countries have been destroyed. And because the countries have been destroyed, usually what happens after that, if they've overthrown leaders in those countries, leave those countries in wreckage, there is going to be some type of resistance that forms. And then the US government will point to those resistance and say, oh, no, that's terrorism over there. So no one from that country can come here. But they'll totally leave out the fact that that resistance would have never existed if they didn't step foot in their country, rob their people, steal their resources, kill their leaders, and install their own form of government. So I want Americans to wake up. I want people to stop pointing out, oh my God, look at what's so obvious. Whoop-de-doo. That's exactly what I would say corporate media, they want you to do. I'm sure MSNBC, all of them, they're eating this up right now. They're like, oh, look, it's the black and brown countries. Fox News will look at this and say, yeah, that's where there's so many terrorists in those countries. They're both playing a game. And what I'm trying to ask you guys to do is don't fall for that game. Look at what they're not telling you. The United States has destroyed so many countries. They wreak havoc everywhere they go. None of these countries have bases all over the world. We do. None of these countries are going up to these countries in the West and still, do you see them stealing our resources? And their goal and the media's goal is to convince you that all of these countries are evil. They're evil, bad people. They don't want to take you through history. They don't want to tell you what the US has done to these countries or what European countries have done to these countries. They don't want to do that. They just want you to focus on they're all black and brown countries. And that's where they keep you. They keep you right there in that little box. Don't think any further. Don't look any further. Stay right there in that lane. Don't think too much. If I get frustrated, it's because I saw people stand right in that lane. We're not looking to see what else these countries could have in common. And on both sides, vote blue no matter who fell right into the trap of, oh, they're all black and brown countries, and just stop right there. MAGA supporters on social media fell right for the fox of, those are all the terrorist countries. And they're like, yeah, that's where all the radical Muslim people and all that stuff are. And just stopped right there. Both sides are being played, both sides falling for it. That's what people should be paying attention to. We'll go on a little bit more here.
In court, I tried texting with several civil rights attorneys that will no doubt take issue with this. For example, the ACLU has been front and center on the fight on some of the other proclamations that the president has signed. But look, this is something that the White House feels that it is entitled to do, that the American people, that President Trump's voters wanted from him when they put him into office, and they're certain to take a very defiant tone here, God.
And Gabe, I'm just looking at this right now, and we had that list of the countries up there, starting with Afghanistan. One of the things that I don't remember seeing during the first travel ban, but I'm starting to see here is, a quick justification on the proclamation. So when it comes to Afghanistan, they are saying that this has been a hotbed of this specifically designated global terrorist group, the Taliban. But then they get.
No, it's because they have starvation, like serious starvation in Afghanistan. I mean, I want you guys to think about something. The United States government, it started under Biden and it continued under Donald Trump. They basically just rebranded Jelani in Syria. The same guy that they told you was on the terrorist watch list and to stay away from him and he was killing all these people. They basically cleaned this guy up, gave him a shave, put on a suit, and rebranded this guy. Should you really listen to what they say when they tell you someone is a terrorist group or not? Should you take their word for it? He said that there's a civil rights attorneys are looking into this now and da-da-da. Okay. Where were the civil rights attorneys when we were overthrowing leaders in these countries, when we were starving children in those countries, when the US and Western countries were killing people in those countries, stealing resources in those countries? Where were the civil rights lawyers then? Where was the noise from the civil rights lawyers then? Because see, civil rights is not just supposed to be, let me stand up and advocate for civil rights when someone on the right is in power, when it's the right time to do it. Because the civil rights movement wasn't popular during that time. Many would say, oh, no, it's not the right time to do it. A lot of Black people were not on board with that at that time, despite what people may tell you. So where were all the civil rights lawyers when we were looting those countries and killing the people there? This is the new travel ban. These are the 12 countries. And again, everybody pay close attention to what we have done to those countries. Don't just stop with the surface level of they're all Black and brown countries. Duh. Let's go further. Let's use our mind to go deeper. Because what they know is this. They know that in these countries that they destroy, they know it's only a matter of time before people will start to leave those countries because there's nothing there and try to make their way to other Western countries. It's not always the US. Sometimes it's also European countries as well, despite what a lot of politicians will tell you. This also happens in Europe. So this is also kind of an immigration issue. Let's go ahead and ban this so we don't have them coming here. But they'll never tell you what they did to those people. Hey guys, this was a Sabby clip. If you like what you saw, hit that like button and subscribe.